Please welcome the $2 field for NPL New South Wales Women's and to celebrate Female Football Week, the Gladesville Ravens and your Manly United FC.
Well, good evening, everyone. It's Female Football Week, and where would you rather be than watching an NPL Women's New South Wales game? Eric Subihana here from the home of the football on the Northern Beaches, Cromer Park, and we've got the NPL Women's New South Wales League leaders, Manly United, up against Gladesville Ravens. Round 10 action here from Cromer. Thanks for joining us. Absolutely delighted to be here calling this one, and it should be a great game. For the hosts, well, Manly United, top of the table, 5 consecutive wins and 6 wins and a draw in their last 7 games. They're in excellent form under the stewardship of head coach Tom Hobley. But the Ravens, they'll be confident after a 3-0 derby win 7 days ago against their very local rivals, Northwest Sydney Spirit. So as we go through the usual pre-match festivities and Manly United sneaking in a little extra warm-up before we get underway, let's take you through the 2 starting lineups. Firstly, for the league leaders, Manly United, in goal, number 1, Nicole Simonson. We're expecting a back 4. At left back, number 12, Ariela Cabezas. Right back, number 2, Phoebe Gilbane. In central defence, number 14, Leah Burton. And number 3, Grace Arnold. 3 in midfield, including the captain, number 6, Ruby Jackson. Number 8, Alexia Forder. And number 20, a goal scorer last time out, Sian Bozanic. And the 3 up front, number 16, Daisy Arrowsmith. Number 5, Nicole Stewart. And Manly United's top scorer for 2024 with 7 goals, number 9, Emily Minot. While for the Ravens, we're expecting them to line up something like a 3-4-3, so this is my best guess for that. In goal, number 22, Romina Paraguirre. Number 3 at the back, number 3, Annie Dachko. Number 6, the captain, Kimberly Davey. And number 4, the only change from the derby win over Spirit, coming into the side, number 4, Eleanor Lidbetter. 4 across the midfield, we think on the left will be number 23, Keisha Allen, and on the right, number 26, Brianna Buccini. In central midfield, number 3, Annie Halls, and number 5, Keiko Tanaka. The Ravens attacking trio, it's got 2 former Manly United players, number 17, Claudia Chalakin, and number 33, Patricia Taralambis. And completing that lineup is the Ravens' top scorer for this year, also with 7 goals, number 51, Isabella Edwards. Now, if you're familiar with the dribble lineups, and also I do believe that the graphics will say her last name is Habuda, but in honor of both the name on the back of Isabella's jersey and a marriage that I heard of fairly recently, we will respect that, so we will call her Isabella Edwards today. Shout out to you, Mr. Edwards, I see her. Anyway, it's usual kits for both. The royal blue kits for Manly United with the red design in the middle as well. And it's white and black for Gladesville Ravens. Just waiting, by the way, of course, as the whistle blows. There it is, away we go. And Simonson sends it up and away. Shout out to the 3rd team, the match officials in the center with the whistle, Lara Hogan. The assistant nearest to us is Matthew Harris, and the assistant on the far side, Kieran Rees-Bevan. We already had 1 game in this round 10 yesterday. That was at actually the ground Ravens call home, the Arctic Circle, and exciting stuff there as well. A 2-2 draw between Northwest Sydney Spirit and Arpia Leichhardt. So I think there was indeed one of Arpia's goals coming from the player they call the Queen of Blacktown, Ashley Crofts, last year's Golden Boot, last year's Player of the Year. But Spirit, their young side, battled hard, and in fact it was a very late equaliser from one of their teenagers, Nikita Fatsari. That's what ensured a share of the spoils in Macquarie Park. Here's Burton. Goes back, speaking of, I believe, Leah Burton, still a teenager herself, but was doing very well to settle in and establish herself as part of Manly United first grade lineup. Charalambis might need to redo that formation because I reckon I've already gotten something wrong. So we'll see. As Cheryl Ambers appears to be on the left side of the Ravens midfield, and she was in attack last week and did a very good job against Spirit. Patricia Cheryl Ambers, certainly a very versatile player, and in fact we've seen that not just in NPL Women's New South Wales, but also in A-League Women. She's had quite a few seasons playing in the National League. And of course, the weather has had a big effect on this round of fixtures for NPL Women's New South Wales as Jackson plays it back to Simonson. And Arnold playing it again to Manly's goalkeeper. And there's one postponement, so if you're wondering where Sydney Olympic versus Macarthur Rams is on the Football New South Wales YouTube page, that's been washed out due to the situation at Petermore Field. Irina Patagira, nice confident shout. And she gets another touch in the gloves, the Ravens goalkeeper. So Olympic versus Macarthur Rams postponed to a later date. Unfortunately, we do not get to hear the dulcet tones of the man from Dublin, Dave Feeney, today, but we will see that at a later date. Of course, keep an eye out on Football New South Wales official channels, NPL New South Wales official social media for details on when that game will be played. As it will be a throw-in taken by Phoebe Gilbane. The other game postponed, which, well, might have been the weather, might also have been because of international call-ups. But yes, Football New South Wales Institute versus Illawarra Stingrays. Two teams that are using grass services this season. That'll be postponed, but also, of course, Football New South Wales Institute have a lot of players in the Australia Under-17 squad, the Junior Matildas, for the Asian Under-17 Championships. So best of luck to our Junior Tillies as they try to qualify for the Under-17 World Cup to be held later this year. Burton plays it forward, and Minette couldn't catch up to it. Instead, it's Kimberly Davey. Back it goes to the keeper. By the way, Manly United also had a player called up for the Junior Matildas. She's in Bali at the moment preparing for their opening game of the group stage. So congratulations to Sienna Dale. Everyone at Manly United justifiably proud of how well Sienna's progressed to earn national team selection. Now, Burton and almost an inadvertent nutmeg pass as Chalakian pressed high, but wasn't able to break it up. Arnold's now to Cabezas on the left-hand side. Turn from Minette, and then it was broken up by Davey. And as there was Dachko, and the flag stays down, but it's good covering coming across from Cabezas on Edwards. Isabella Edwards was in great form 7 days ago, scoring twice in the derby against Spirit. And playing a big part in the Ravens earning 3 goals and 3 points at the Arctic Circle. As a little bit possibly under hit from Simonson. Cheryl Ambers, then Tanaka, and Cheryl Ambers again, and now Dachko, who, well, that's the first of many things I feel I'll get wrong today, because Annie Dachko appears to be lining up in midfield. Now is Eleanor Ledbetter, long-time Raven, into the side for this game. Back to Annie Halls. Now Annie Dachko. Dachko holds it up well to Allen. Back to Davey. Some other games that are being played. There was a 4:40 p.m. kickoff. That was Bulls FC Academy versus Emergent Jets at Northbridge Oval. And that'll be called by actually a player who I believe would have been rushing from her game to call that one. That would be Interline's under-20 player Annabelle Banfield, who is also part of our commentary team. And then there's 2 other 5 p.m. kickoffs. That was the Battle of the Students, University of New South Wales versus Sydney University at the Village Green in Kensington. And the other one is Blacktown Spartans versus Northern Tigers at Blacktown Football Park. And oddly enough, in that matchup, if you're familiar with the kits in this competition, the team in that one wearing orange and black is not the team called Tigers. Anyway. Hope the commentator clarifies that at some point, whoever that is. But anyway, a throw in, and Grace Arnold is up at the head, but also concedes the first the first corner of this evening's proceedings. And yeah, I mean, summer doesn't feel too long ago. I mean, the season definitely started in very warm conditions, but floodlights already needed for the start of this game. Yes. A reminder that this is very much a winter competition. Now, we've got the bus stop formation in the middle, and, well, The delivery not up to Charalambous' usual standard. Bet we won't see that again this evening. I was about to say, the Ravens players for that set piece lined up one behind each other like they're lining up for a bus. And we'll see what other tricks they have with their next set piece. As that's a free kick called against Keisha Allen. Emily Minette using her body well. Well, I mentioned what the Ravens did 7 days ago. And for Manly United, who are now 3 points clear at the top of NPL Women's New South Wales, well, it looked like it would be relatively straightforward, as that might break to Nicole Stewart, and Arrowsmith wants the ball to the near post. It's out of reach for Paragira, and Charalambous covering at the back post. Now Gilbane settles for the throw and takes it quickly to Bozanic. Now Gilbane, and Charalambous with some defending to do. Let's cycle back to Fauna. I guess Manly United, they were leading 3-0 against Emerging Jets 7 days ago up at Lake Macquarie, a regional football facility, as that Grace Arnold read that like the Manly Daily. Brilliant interception and stopped that Ravens attack before it got going. It could be a decent ball as well, and Arrowsmith was looking for it. Now Minette shoots, and it's blocked well by Bacchini. And yes, 7 days ago, Manly United leading the Jets. They were leading by 3-0. Goals from Tegan Biasi, Sian Bozanic, and Gemma Woolley. And then a couple of late goals, and they nearly let it slip. So perhaps a bit more nervous than Tom Hopley and the Manly coaching staff would have wanted, as the shot comes in straight at Paragira. By the way, that's a reminder to go through the benches while we've got a bit of time. So for Manly, Tom Hopley can choose from the backup keeper, Christy Canningisa, as well as Gemma Sweetnam, Bonnie Adams, Hallie Smith, Tegan Biasi, and former Raven, Gemma Woolley. It's always interesting when players come up against their old clubs. And Gemma Woolley scored roughly about 30 goals 2 years ago when she helped the Ravens to a grand final victory and also the club championship as well, which that's what saw Ravens get promoted from League One Women's into the top division. Charalambous, she only finds Cabezas. Now it's Fauna, and that is Nicole Stewart. So, by the way, the Ravens bench, their backup keeper is Eliza Coleman. The other options, Ellie Howard, Lara Brewis, Lexi Moreno, Renee Pounty, and Jess Wooden. Paragira with the left foot towards Charalambous. Another left foot pass. And then Allen keeps it in. But Gilbane, well, she beat the first Raven to the ball, then almost lost it to Chalakian coming across to try and win possession. But now it's with Simonson from Manly United. Now it's a touch, and Davey, will she back pass? And she decides there's enough time to go back to the keeper, but then it's sent into touch anyway. So attacking throwing coming up for the home side. Yes. Also, we do love, of course, and we do love going around the grounds to other scores, as that's a heavy touch by Arrowsmith and out for a goal kick. So we will keep you updated from the second tier League One Women's as well. And I can report, thanks of course to Justin Davies, who's been a long-time reporter for the women's second tier. Does a great job as always. A couple of 6-0 wins. So yesterday at the opening of Barton Park, St George FC's new facility, and they celebrated with a 6-0 derby win over Sutherland Strikers. Also a 6-0 win for Camden Tigers against Inter Lions earlier today. So the Tigers really earning their stripes in that one. And in the live stream game, as Paragira sends one into the... No, I think that's hit the fence. So a Manly United employee will not have to knock on Peeler's door Monday morning to come and get that one. So, but... well done to that. Well done to that ball kid who's running across to get it. But we do have a second ball anyway, so we'll get going. But yes, as Arrowsmith is followed all the way by Lidbetter. Lidbetter to, I think, Bacchini, who plays it down the line. And then Arnold back to Simonson. But yeah, in the League One women's match of the round. That was a 3 p.m. kickoff, and it was Marconi Stallions 1, Mount Druitt Town Rangers 3. Header from Cheryl Lambus towards Davey, and the touch might have let Minette in, but Davey, as you'd expect from a centre back and a captain, is strong in the 50-50. Dachko goes back to Cheryl Lambus. I guess that Marconi Mount Druitt game. Another excellent job at commentary done by a new member to our commentary team, Melissa Muscat, and she's been doing a great job with League One Women's, so I think she should be getting an NPL game fairly soon. But we'll wait and see if that actually ends up happening. Now, Grace Arnold under pressure from Chalakian. Now, Burton, awkward height, but she managed to work it first time to Jackson. And now, Cabezas overlapping into the midfield. Bezanic to Stewart. Now, trying the 1-2 with Cabezas, but Lidbetter's read it well. And now that's Halls for the Ravens. Now, of course, oh yes, that's right. There was another update, actually in League One Women's. Well, before I forget, as there's the foot in there from Cabezas towards Bezanic. Stewart down the line. She's had enough room to get past Puccini, and it's a good sliding tackle from Lidbetter. But yes, the other League One Women's score I have was the early kickoff. Actually, hang on a moment.
We highly recommend everyone, please do not feed the magpies.
Good advice there. I also recommend don't feed magpies under any circumstances. Now, that might work out for Tanaka. And Tanaka, I think she was thinking about the early ball, didn't like what she saw, so just calmly turned back. And Keiko Tanaka, who I think first appeared in this competition, I think, well, a year that feels like yesterday, but also feels like so long ago at the same time. The 2020 season, Keiko Tanaka playing for the team that was then known as Koalas, now of course known as Northwest Sydney Spirit. But Tanaka now in her 4th season with the Ravens, and she really has been a very astute signing for the club. As Burton plays it forward, Arrowsmith, and the flags up against Arrowsmith from Matthew Harris, assistant on the grandstand side here of Cromer Park. But yes, that's right, going around the grounds. The other score we had, it was actually top of the table clash, second hosting first in League One Women's, and it was the league leaders Hills United staying undefeated as Cabeza stops that attack. Hills United defeating SD Raiders by 2-0 at Fairfield Showgrounds. And the Hills United dynamic duo of Kaylee Shannon and Isabella Shiberis both scoring to put Hills United 3 points clear. That's a 7th clean sheet in 10 games, if you can believe it, for the Hills United captain and goalkeeper Sarah Easter. What a job she's doing, by the way. Now Stewart, 1-on-1 again, looks to go around the outside, and that is done well by Brianna Buccini. Buccini, by the way, something I saw 7 days ago in the derby at Macquarie Park. I suppose you could call that the Macquarie Park melee, Ravens versus Spirit. But Brianna Buccini has a very good long throw on her, which could be something if the Ravens get an attacking throw on that side of the field. Collision between Dachko and Gilbane, and Phoebe Gilbane would take a lot to keep her down. And she bounces straight back up. Good sporting behavior from Annie Dachko as well to help Gilbane up. Gilbane scanning for options. Picks Arrowsmith, and then Gilbane up and forward. Ruby Jackson, this is the furthest forward we've seen her today. As defensive header from, I think, Keisha Allen. Gilbane. Again, looking to Arrowsmith, who bounces it back. Now Jackson. And Jackson to Fauna. Now it's a little win for Ravens. Attacking throw-in that ends up in Manly territory. And that was good defensive organization. So Manly will try the other side with Cabezas. And now Stewart. This time Stewart cuts inside, delivers, and the touch from Arrowsmith, and that'll be easy for Paragera. So past the quarter hour mark here at Cromer Park. If you've just joined us, Eric Subihana here on the mic from the Lucas Neal stand here at this wonderful facility. It's currently goalless between Manly United and Gladesville Ravens. Round 10 NPL Women's New South Wales action. Thanks for joining us at the live tab on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. That's the first time we've seen Cabezas overlap down the left for Manly, and Jackson tried to hit that run. Just put a little bit too much chili sauce on that one. Cabezas was never going to catch up to it. And of course, I mentioned that it was Female Football Week, so for Football New South Wales territory, that started on Friday the 3rd of May and will go until Sunday the 12th of May, so it's actually a little bit more than a week. It's 10 days. But yes, of course, celebrating the contribution and successes of women in football. You may have seen during the intro, purple, the official colour of Female Football Week, and the Girl SAP players who walked out with the Manly United first graders, I think a lot of them wearing those purple ribbons, very generously provided by Football New South Wales. But yes, of course, after the very successful Women's World Cup that was held last year, registration is actually up 70% overall for women in football, the biggest growth, as you might expect, after an event which is, among other things, meant to inspire youngsters. Biggest growth is in the 5 to 12-year-old age group, 23% growth there, so the future's looking strong. So keep an eye out. Clubs are celebrating with a range of events, including lots of purple-themed giveaways, headbands, ribbons, socks, and Matilda's posters. So get out and support your women's teams. Go and watch a game, just like this one. Thank the volunteers, applaud the coaches. And yes, a great way to celebrate Female Football Week and all the contributions that women make to the game of football in Australia. Now, as the Ravens start to press a little bit higher, and now that's a turnover. So, well, actually, my apologies, misread the flag. That's not a turnover. That the ball and possession remains with Manly. So there's the Manly skipper, Ruby Jackson, and then more pressing. So Chalakian, a player who would be incredibly familiar with this venue as a long-time Manly United player. I was going to say she's familiar with every blade of synthetic turf, but if you're going to be literal, that's actually not true, because after Claudia left, they relayed the surface. So in that sense, the surface is new to Claudia, but the rest won't be. As Allen, as a nice ball out left to Charalambus. One-on-one with Gilbane, and Charalambus chooses to deliver. And it's, oh, well, I thought it was going to be straightforward for Simonson. She batted it down right at her feet, but Keiko Tanaka, we know how sharp she is, and she almost got her foot in there for what would have been a tap-in. Simonson dealing with it well in the end, though. Now, Edwards trying to get behind Burton. That's a very clean tackle. Well done from Leah Burton. As there's the header to prevent the quick ball, the quick counter. Keisha Allen was positioned well. Jackson under pressure just sends it into the Ravens dugout. By the way, as I think it's drizzling, so could be, I wonder what the rain will do, because I do know you can see, you might have seen with the green bib, long time Manly United photographer, Manly Warringah FA photographer Jeremy Denham, as Simonson will reel this one in. Always does a great job with producing a lot of photographs for Manly United Football Club in both the women's and the men's. So under lights with the rain, I wonder if that'll affect his shots in any way. But he's very experienced. I don't really think so. As Ravens turn it over in midfield, and Halls again doesn't like her forward options and goes back to the keeper. Ravens will start again. It's actually looking at how Ravens have lined up now. It does look like it's Ledbetter on the ball now, then Davey and Allen in the back three. Bacchini, good first touch, and that's the furthest forward I think she's been all game. Bacchini's on the right-hand side of the midfield. Charalambus on the left-hand side. Got Dachko and Halls, the two Annies. It's kind of the central midfielders. And then further forward, Keiko Tanaka with the flick on there, playing just behind what appears to be a front two of Edwards and Chalakian. Grace Arnold prevents the corner. But now, will we see that Brianna Bacchini long throw proficiency? It's a good chance for her to fling one as far as she can. Now, that's Burton with a foot in there before Chalakian can pull the trigger. And that, oh yes, that's actually going to be a corner kick. So the Ravens' second corner of the evening. It's a good delivery as well. There's Jackson with the header. And Stewart just plays it forward. Now, it's a loose touch which might let Arrowsmith in. And the Ravens have just about kept a hold of the ball, but not for long. There it is with Simonson. Simonson is long, but there's no Manly player anywhere near it as it falls to the ground. Dachko. Now Chalakian, but might work for Minette. And Minette, Allen not falling for the step over. And Allen takes over. Keisha Allen, a goal scorer. She was the other goal scorer last week when Ravens beat Spirit 3-0. As I said earlier, Edwards getting the other two. It was Keisha Allen's first goal for the campaign and celebrated. As a defender usually celebrates goals because we all know they don't score too often, so you've got to make the most of it when you do score. Jackson goes back to Simonson. Net with the flick on, but it's Cheryl Ambus there before any Manly player. Now Jackson. Now Burton going back to Simonson. We're midway through the first half here at Cromer Park. 0-0 between Manly and Ravens. And Manly will try the side of the field closest to the far post. In case you were wondering, he's across from us at the Lucas Neal Grandstand. A very fine establishment, the far post. As Tanaka, well, it's something for Chalakian to chase, and she'll get there ahead of Burton. 1-1, and now that's a good ball for Cheryl Lamb as well. The touch looped up into the grateful arms of Nicole Simonson, but there's something a little bit possibly for Ravens to think about as they look to unlock the puzzle that is the Manly United defence. A great ball initially from Tanaka to find Chalakian's run, and then it was the third player, Cheryl Ambus, who timed that late run really well. It could have been a chance. Now Fauna. Now Gilbane. And back to Simonson. Simonson, it should be Davies. And then Minette sweeps it up. Bizanic making the run. Clean tackle from Annie Dachko. Now Annie Halls. Tanaka, oh, it's clever to get past Arnold. Clever turn from Tanaka, but the second defender, Cabezas, across on the cover. Now, the tackle there from Halls this time. There's Arrowsmith, followed by Davey, and Arrowsmith keeps it away from three players to find Cabezas. Back to Arnold, and yes, I'm just looking at the drizzle to see if the wind's kind of really affecting the players in either way. It's really just a very light breeze, if you could even call it that, against Manly, so going right to left as we look at things. I don't think that should affect the play too much. As Arnold, last touch off Ravens, so that will be a Manly throw. Burton back to Arnold, and it's forward. And Minette, they want a handball call, and Lara Hogan agrees. Handball against Keisha Allen, so that's pretty much the first time she's spotted a copybook this evening. She's had a good game so far. So Jackson, that's options, but as we saw last week, Ravens' defensive structure is very nice, and then Arrowsmith, that's brilliant from Arrowsmith, dropping the shoulder and letting the ball run across her body. And she's drawn the contact. So a free kick in a good position, and Alexia Fauna heading straight to the scene of the crime, so to speak. Fauna scored with a free kick the last time Manly were here 2 weekends ago when they beat Sydney Olympic by 3-0. This one's a different task. Alexia Fauna, great dead ball striker, so this could be something to get the home fans interested, as there's the signal. And Fauna, it's into a decent area and might break for Manly. It still might be off the grabs as Gilbane ended up being the closest to it, but Romina Paraguera throws herself on the ball. But now going the other way, it's Edwards to the byline, and Burton, or did she? I was wondering if she actually got the final touch of Edwards, but she did not. The Ravens corner kick coming up, and the first one in front of that scoreboard in front of the canteen block. Ah, yes. You can tell how cold it is. That's a very long line in front of the canteen, so everyone is wanting something warm to get them through the rest of this game. Now, Cheryl Lambis is the short option, and it doesn't look like they're going to try the 2-on-1. Tanaka looking to deliver straight into the middle. That she does. And it's up at the back post, and Simonson pulled a hand away from that. Knew it was going wide, so a goal kick. In fact, it's Arnold taking the goal kick to the goalkeeper, Simonson, and they trying to get on with it. Now Burton allowed to run, centre back getting across halfway. Now Fauna has found herself out wide. Fauna past one challenge, and then it's Davey strong in the second tackle. Now Tanaka. So Keiko Tanaka, such a classy player, always seems to have time, and I think it's something you would have seen last weekend if you watch Ravens versus Spirit. Can take set pieces with both feet, so maybe we saw that corner she just took with her right foot. Maybe she'll take a corner with her left foot later in the game. As there's Davey going forward to Edwards, and now Chalakian. Now Cheryl Lambis, I think she's getting the chance to deliver direct, and well, Nicole Simonson taking no risks, tips it wide. It's going to be another corner. And pretty much half an hour played here at Cromer Park. If you've just joined us, we hope you're warmer and drier than we are here at Cromer Park. It's 0-0 between Manly United and Gladesville Ravens in this round 10 NPL Women's New South Wales match. It's first place Manly versus sixth place Ravens. Cheryl Lambis to deliver. It's another good one. Arnold with the header. And then Ara Smith trying to help it, try to fight Stewart's run, but Cheryl Lambis still has it with neat footwork, and again, Cheryl Lambis with the cross, and there's a one-handed punch from Nicole Simonson. Pretty good too. That was a punch Katie Taylor would have been proud of. It got the ball out of the area. So now they stick at it. Now it's Bazanic. Is there a counter possibility? Nicole Stewart. Well, if she can switch it, maybe. Stewart does cut inside. And Stewart was actually Leah Burton getting forward, the centre back. Man, they keep it alive. Well, we're fortunate, myself and camera operator Shane, we're protected from the rain, at least for now, in the Lucas Neal stand. Though if the wind starts blowing towards us, it might be a different story. So that'll be a Manly free kick. Cabezas. Stewart resumes her battle with Bacchini. That's been one of the fascinating things of this first half. Stewart looking to use her speed again, and she thinks she got a touch. Well, she didn't. That's well defended by the Ravens, number 26. So if you look ahead to games coming up for both these teams in 7 days' time, for Manly United, it'll be a rematch of that epic 2017 NPL Grand Final. And Manly United travel to Linwood Park to face the team who's won the last 2 Grand Finals. That's MacArthur Rams, of course. Then they've got Sapphire Cup action on, firstly, Manly away to MacArthur, Sunday, 12th of May. Then they've got cup action, the 3rd round of the Sapphire Cup, Wednesday, 15th of May. They've got another long away trip. That's to face League One women's outfit Blacktown City, 7:30 p.m. at Landers Stadium, Wednesday, 15th of May. And Sunday, 19th of May, Manly are back here to play Sydney University. And then they finish the first half of the season on Sunday, the 26th of May, with another home game against Bulls FC Academy. That, I think, was Forner switching it to Cabezas. Now, Cabezas, it almost broke down, but Cabezas trying to keep this alive, and now Emily Manette puts the foot to the floor, and she's on in the left side of the box. Here's Manette, and it goes across the face of goal. That's the closest almost that either side has come in this opening period, and Manly's leading goal scorer for this season with a great run between central defenders. And to be fair to both of them, got back and they didn't make a tackle, but I think they pressured the shot enough and it went wide. So in the end, Patagira not required to use her gloves. So here's Lidbetter. And Jackson wins it against Tanaka, which is something you don't say too often, given how secure Tanaka usually is with the ball. Now Stewart got it away from Bacchini, and Lidbetter has had enough of that and sends it into opposition territory. Burton under pressure from Chalakian, and Chalakian's one out. Now Edwards and Dachko's Manly scramble back, and Burton, who was on the floor, got up quickly and ends up with a nice interception. Stewart looks to dink it forward. It's all Kimberly Davey there. And the Ravens skipper will start this passing move for her team. Good first touch by Chalakian to step inside. And then she was looking for Edwards, but the Ravens strike partnership not linking up that time. Gilbane. She goes back to Burton. Now across to Cabezas, and then Hall's broke it up. But Bazanic will play it forward. Arrowsmith looking for a Manette, and well, I could see what Manette was trying to do. First touch off the head to take it beyond the defender, but that's more good work from Kimberly Davey. And a pass from the shoulder by Cabezas. The folk on the deck at the far post had a good view of that. Now it's back to Manette. And now Arrowsmith looking to thread the eye of a needle, and I think Cheryl Lambert, she just got enough of a touch. Good overlapping run from Gilbane. Good vision from Arrowsmith. And it needed that touch from Cheryl Lambert. It helped the ball towards Palagira. Now's the header from Edwards. It feels like it's starting to open up here. Final 10 minutes of the opening period. Here's Chalakian. It's defended by Cabezas. So Dachko keeps it alive. And now Bacchini. Dachko and Ledbetter. That's no one making the required run. It was actually a ball into a decent area from Ledbetter. Now Jackson is the one running from deep, but it's broken up again by Davey. By the way, as we go around the grounds, can report that it's Also scoreless in the Battle of the Students, University of New South Wales versus Sydney University. Approaching halftime just like this one, and at Blacktown Football Park, it is Blacktown Spartans 0, Northern Tigers 1. Gilbane, well, I was about to say concedes the throw, but she's actually won the free kick, Phoebe Gilbane. Phoebe Gilbane having another good season. She was selected on the bench for the Women's Team of the Year in 2023. The only other Manly United player to achieve such an honour was men's keeper Levi Kay, who was on the bench for the Men's Team of the Year. Phoebe Gilbane very much a firm fixture on the right-hand side of that Manly backline. Ooh. That rain does not look fun to be in. As Arrowsmith beats Ledbetter to the ball. Now, what kind of support does she have? Arrowsmith, Manly's second top scorer with 5 for the season. Now it's up over Dachko. Cheryl Ambus is back to defend. Sends it forward. Now Jackson knew how important it was to press Tanaka as quickly as possible. Chalakian. And said he's broken up by Fauna. That's smart work from Fauna. Saw that the keeper was the open player that time. Oof. Yeah, that does not look like fun to be out there at the moment. Anyway, going around the grounds at Northbridge Oval, by the way, a ground with almost no cover for spectators, so better you than me, Annabelle Banfield. Anyway, it's half-time between Bulls versus Jets. Bulls FC Academy leading the emerging Jets by 2-1. Arrowsmith. And the first-time pass of Bazanec. Actually, the two former Koalas, Bazanec and Kimberly Davey, almost into a half sprint, but I think both of them knew that they weren't going to catch up to that one. Now, Gerald Ambus, nice work with not a lot of room to work with. There's a little shimmy on the way. And by the way, before I forget, of course, it's a big weekend for a lot of people in the football family, including, I presume, at least one person on that field out there. So, wishing a happy Easter to all our Orthodox Christian friends. So, whether you say it as Kalapaska, Stratland Uskas, Strecken Bellington, or some other way, hope you have a great weekend. Of course, wishing that to all of you, but especially to our longtime media manager, our fearless leader, Mark Stavroulakis, the Golden Greek. Mark worked so hard to keep all of this going from a media sense. Thanks so much. As Fauna delivers the free kick. And header by Ledbetter, who I think would have to be the tallest player on the field out there. And imagine, in terms of defensive set pieces for Ravens, you could do a lot worse than tell Eleanor, look, if it goes near you, just head it away. One umbrella in each technical area, by the way. That's how the weather is here at Cromer Park. And before the teams head to the shelter of the dressing sheds for halftime, is there something to change this? Here might be a chance, and it's straight up Paragira, and, you know, it's always a good idea to be more willing to shoot in the rain because of stuff like that. It wasn't caught cleanly by Romina Paragira, but his handling was good enough to make sure it didn't spill away from her and towards any Manly players running in. Oh, it's a lovely drag back from Burton to get away from the pressure. The Ravens so organized, it's so hard for, well, any Manly player to find the space and build attacks. And to be fair, seems to be the case the other way as well. Very much defenses on top here as we head towards the halftime whistle. Forner up against Dachko, and he goes through a crowd of Ravens, and it's swept up by Davey. Now let's go. Decision. A whistle from Lara Hogan, and it's going to go Manly's way. Minette playing the target forward role. Now Bazanic, but she's forced backwards by Annie Halls. Also, thanks to Justin Davies, as Bazanic finds Arnold. Another League One women's update. It's from a ground that, if I'm honest, given the week's weather, I'm surprised this game went ahead, but it did. At Cook Park in St Mary's, the PNFC 0, South Coast Flame 2, so the rain's certainly not extinguishing the flame today. As that's a corner. That will be Manly's first corner of the evening. So, it's two Manly players being a nuisance in front of the keeper. Delivery towards the penalty spot. And now, well, not properly cleared, so back to Forner. And Forner. Shalakian sticks to a defensive task. Here's Leah Burton finding herself on the wing. And Burton tries to whip it in, and that's excellent positioning from Charalambous. Didn't dive in. And the cross here goes out of play. Allen scoops it forward. Now Burton back to the day job, so to speak. Central defense. And Gilbane, I think she was able to shepherd it out despite Charalambous' best efforts. Simonson and then Forner. Now Gilbane was pressed by two players, kept the ball away from both of them, and now Forner providing the rapid round run. Minette's pulled out wide. Said looking more centrally, and Arrowsmith, well, the flag would have went up anyway, but it's also good command of the area from Paudaguita. Before I forget, speaking of washouts, well, this is the most awkward washout possible in a Football New South Wales women's competition, because the game between Southeast Phoenix, based in South Nowra, and Central Coast Mariners, that'll have to be played at a later date. So a midweek away trip for Central Coast Mariners to South Nowra coming up. Ooh, best of luck with that one. Ravens just using throw-ins to work the ball slowly up the field. We've already had a minute of time added on, and there's a glance at the watch from Lara Hogan, but actually the ball not to Brianna Bacini's liking. So actually well done to that ball kid. And getting us another one. Puccini looks like, yep, she's just going to go for distance. Fair bit of distance there, but that's also the end of proceedings for the first half. It's goalless between Manly United and Gladesville Ravens in round 10, NPL Women's New South Wales. And the players are going to head to the dressing stage for some well-earned shelter. This is Eric Subiano on the mic from the Lucas Neal stand at Cromer Park. We'll take a short break, about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll be back for the second half.
Recycling and even secure document disposal. Highly effective and environmentally friendly, Brown Brothers skip bins will ensure that you are trying to push the proverbial up a hill. So give Brown Brothers skip bins a call on 99116466 or visit them at www.brownbrothersbins.com.au. Brown Brothers skip bins, their business kicking up. Ladies and gentlemen, a special treat for you to celebrate Cromer Football Week. We will have a series of small-sided games out in front of you here with representatives from the Manly United G-Sub-10s.
Welcome back to the second half of our coverage for round 10 NPL Women's New South Wales action from Cromer Park. 0-0 between Manly United and Gladesville Ravens. It's a wet old one as we begin female football week. Wouldn't you believe it? Just as halftime started, there was a halftime of activation involving small-sided games for the Manly United girls SAP teams, and that was when the rain was at its heaviest. But the kids looked to have fun nonetheless, and that's the most important thing. Now, of course, no fourth official in this competition, and I'm not really brave enough to go down there and get wet to check if there's any subs, so I'm just going to do what I usually do, scan the shirt numbers and see if there's been any subs made at halftime. Actually, 99.9% confident Manly United, as they were to begin this fixture, so Tom Hopley still has 5 subs up his sleeve. And for the Ravens, well, I'd also be surprised if they had made any substitutions. You know what? Let's say I don't think they have. Laura Hogan waits for everyone to get ready. It's going to be the Ravens kicking things off. As we can see, a little warm-up jog just past the center circle from Keiko Tanaka, who was excellent, I think, as she usually is in the first half, but to be fair, it's been a real arm wrestle out there in the wet between two evenly matched teams. Hard for any player to kind of make a big impact, but there's still 45 more minutes for someone to put their name up in lights, so to speak. There it is. There's the whistle from Lara Hogan. Away we go. Second half action. 45 more minutes for someone to become the hero and perhaps earn their side the 3 points. So that's the question faced in front of us as Bozanic plays it forward to Stewart, and Stewart looking to outrun Boccini. There's the covering from Lidbetter. And then Boccini, now Edwards, and that's a decent ball to Tanaka, who timed to run very well. Up against Burton, and Tanaka shoots. And I was waiting to see the signal from Lara Hogan. She points for a goal kick. I was wondering if it had gotten a touch from Simonson. It was Tanaka just shooting wide, but that's very promising for the visitors right at the start of the second half. So as that runs out, maybe I'll just remind you, if you missed it at the top of the broadcast, of the starting line of the lineups out there. Firstly, for Manly, as Cheryl Lambus throws it in, and Burton plays it forward. For Manly, in goal, number 1, Nicole Simonson. 4 at the back, left back, number 12, Ariella Cabezas. Right back, number 2, Phoebe Gilbane. In central defence, number 14, Leah Burton. And number 3, Grace Arnold. 3 in midfield, number 8, Alexia Fauna. Number 6, the captain, Ruby Jackson. And number 20, Sian Bozanic. 3 up front. Number 5, Nicole Stewart. Number 9, Daisy Arrowsmith. There's the flags up against Edwards. And number 5, Nicole Stewart. Number 16, Daisy Arrowsmith. And number 9, Emily Minette. Though having said that, that was, I believe, how it looked to me in the first half. Tom Hopley might have kept me on my toes and changed it up a bit, because there's Leah Burton out wide for Manly. So, yes, of course, halftime, a great chance to impart instructions and perhaps change things to improve your chances of winning. So I'll see, because it does look like Manly are offering something different, at least at the start of the second half. Cheryl Lambus keeps it in for the Ravens. Tanaka, as the 2-on-1 working in Manly's favour there. Now Gilbane, and will make its way to Cabezas, who goes back to Arnold. I think possibly off frame, but just a signal from Ruby Jackson, doing another great captain's job as always, telling Grace Arnold. I think the universal signal, just the palm out, just telling her to calm it down. Burton playing it forward. I think smacks into a Ravens player. And the flag is pointing Ravens' way. Now, Cabezas couldn't intercept, and now it's Edwards who's one-on-one with Arnold, and Edwards shoots, and nothing to trouble Simonson. She lets that run wide, didn't feel the need to dive, unlike with the last effort from Tanaka. Yes, for the Ravens, Just a reminder of who are the 11 players out there. In goal, number 22, Romina Paragere. 3 at the back. Number 23, Keisha Allen. Number 6, Kimberly Davey. And number 4, Eleanor Lidbetter. I think 4 across the midfield. On the left, number 33, Patricia Charalambus. On the right, number 26, Brianna Bacchini. In the centre of midfield, number 8, Annie Halls. Number 3, Annie Dachko. Kind of as an advanced midfielder. Number 5, Keiko Tanaka. She's just behind the strike partnership. Number 17, Claudia Chalakian. And number 51, Isabella Edwards. Just another reminder, she has got married very recently. Congratulations to them. So your graphics will say Habuda as per dribble, but yes, it does say Edwards on the back of her jersey. Simonson playing it forward. And Davey sending it back with interest. Now, Balls might pick up the scraps here. That is covered by Burton. Now, I think Manette was offside there, but we'll see, because I think the ball's going to beat both her and Paragera, so it doesn't matter in any case. A chance for Manly to step up as well. By the way, because of course it won't be too long, you think, before we see the first substitutions, so might just run through the 2 sets of subs again, as there's Fauna up against 2 players, and then that, well, I think, well, didn't have enough juice on it to run through to the keeper, so Davey opts for safety, and attacking throw-in coming up for Manly. Fauna, I think he's been dispossessed by Chalakian. Now Tanaka, and that should make its way to Bacchini. Plenty of blue jerseys back, including Bazanic. Stopped the ball and getting to Dachko, who was trying to break from midfield for the Ravens. Here's Cabezas. As he tries to thread it through defenders, Lidbetter gets in the way. Bazanic keeping it alive. Now, wondering if she was going to backheel it because there was an overlapping run. Instead, opting to go back to Arnold, and that goes back to the keeper. Ravens being as defensively organised as they were in the first half. Now, Bazanic just retying a bootlace. And actually well done to her. That's easier said than done in the wet conditions. Now Stewart chasing this one. Davey is across to cover. Throw-in coming up. Stewart as the header off Bacchini. Corner kick coming up for the hosts. In front of the canteen end here at Cromer Park. So I think that's going to be, if my vision is good enough, it's a big if, of course. I think that's Ariela Cabezas looking for the in-swinger. 2 players right in front of the keeper for her to aim at, and now, well, it goes across the 6-yard box. Has to be a little bit of a heart flutter for those of a Ravens persuasion, but it does not take a telling touch, and so it's a goal kick. And a first Raven sub coming up. Lexi Moreno, number 9, is going to come on. And is that going to be Eleanor Lidbetter who's making way? So that's an attacking midfielder on for a central defender. So there's going to be some kind of shuffling. And it's a good progressive change. Good progressive change from the Ravens as they look to chase 3 points.
And making away from the field is number 4, Eleanor Lidbetter.
Now, Manly won a decision. Kieran Reese-Bevan, assistant on the far side, or the far post side, I suppose you could call it at Cromer Park. Kept his flag down. Manly end up with the ball anyway. So try to figure out how Manly have reshuffled. I think They'll have the same formation. They're just moving around a couple of players. Good ball out to Burton on the right. And Burton, that's a decent passing move. Looks to be Gilbane, and she delivers from deep straight towards Pardageva. Now, Moreno looks to be at least an attacking midfielder, so that's meant Keiko Tanaka's dropped to a deeper lying midfield position. Good feed from Annie Dachko to avoid that sliding challenge from Minette, and I think Dachko has gone from defensive midfield to one of the back three, so replacing the gap left after Eleanor Ledbetter was substituted. So Ravens are utilising and taking advantage of having versatile footballers out there. Stewart running at Puccini, and it's the in-swinger. There's a runner at the back post, but the ball is bending away from Gilbane despite her best efforts. Space for Chalakian and plenty of shouts. She looked for Puccini. It's Cabeza stepping in instead, and now Chalakian has to cover. Some those interesting quirks of football, as of course Claudia Chalakian, a long-time Manly United player, has actually had multiple seasons which she appeared in every game. There was one season she missed, which was the season, which was 2017, when Manly United won the championship. So I suppose good for Claudia's sake that she hung around at this club till at Manly United till 2020 when they won another championship. So she did end up getting a winner's medal. And it's Dachko now in central defence, getting to the ball ahead of Minette. But there's Arrowsmith, and Gilbane keeps it in play. Arrowsmith is the short option. That's where it goes as the rain intensifies. Trying to intensify their efforts for the opening goal of the game. Burton gets it back, I think from Forner. Burton, that's lovely work, and she's to the byline. This could be a great chance. Here's the cutback, and it's side-footed over. It's the clearest chance of the game for either side. It's gone over, I think, from Forner. Apologies, the rain will make it a bit harder to see, especially on the far side of the field. But Leah Burton, that was great work. Moving forward from defence. A really nice drop of the shoulder to make the room. Good composure to find the cutback as well. And very good chance for the opener. But it stays 0 between Manly and Ravens. Jackson towards Gilbane. And Gilbane. Arrowsmith did not stay on side. Flag up from Kieran Rees-Bevan, who is, yes. I hope our officials, I hope our officials and players have some kind of undershirts, because, those uniforms don't look like they provide a lot of protection from the cold or the rain. Moreno, and there's the ball. Simonson will look promising for a little moment, for a couple of seconds for Ravens, but then Simonson beats her old teammate Chalakian to the ball to Burton. Another good piece of footwork from Burton to get away from the pressure. Now Phoebe Gilbane on the far touchline. Of course, Phoebe Gilbane, her twin sister Liz plays for Ravens, so there's always a big family affair when these two clubs play. That was the case when these two met, obviously in both league games, but the Sapphire Cup game last year. As it's Stewart to the byline, a little bit of a tumble, and I'm not even going to call those half shouts for a penalty. Quarter shouts, eighth shouts, whatever. Good foot in from Grace Arnold. She should keep that in play, but the somewhat heavy touch lets Annie Halls in there for the tackle. Long throw again. Buccini showing her long throw expertise there. And Yana Buccini settling in well after playing for Spartans during the 2023 season. Here's Moreno. And flag stays down. Cheryl Ambus, time to run well. It's up into the sky, and it drops for Edwards. And Edwards hooks it wide. Under pressure from Cabezas. Short goal kick, and the pressure then comes from Chalakian, who's had to work very hard off the ball. Now Forner drops it over the top. Good run from Stewart. That's definitely onside. Dachko giving chase. Now Stewart. The second defender comes, and Buccini blocks the cross. Dachko strong in the tackle to prevent Stewart going into the box. Now Forner settles it. And Cabezas back to Jackson. Another defensive effort from Chalakian. And Cabezas. But she works something on the near side here. Yay. Will settle for the throw. It's cleared, I think, by Dachko. It might be the second ball because Dachko got quite a fair bit on distance on that. Might actually, I don't think it would have reached field number 2, where I'd happen to know there were some state cup games being played. There's Cromer Park, a facility with 2 synthetic fields and 3 grass fields. The grass fields out of action today for obvious reasons. But as Jackson sends it into the stand, there's always something going on here at Cromer Park on at least one of the 5 fields. Now Moreno, 2 good feet, just played some nice passes with the right, and there's nice passes with the left. There's a right-footed pass from Moreno towards Chalakian. Arnold gets the foot in there, but the second attempt, not to Lara Hogan's liking. Raven set piece coming up. It's going to be Moreno, who's really been kind of the main focal point ever since coming onto the field. By the way, there's a Ravens player taking the bib off and taking the jacket off. Just want to see the shirt number. Renee Pountney. Will I see a number 7? This is probably off frame, so me trying to describe this isn't going to be of great use to you. Yeah, I think I see a 7. So Renee Pountney might be the next player off the bench for Ravens. But first, this set piece. 2 in the wall for Manly. And Moreno contemplates what she wants to do. It's up to the far post, and there's a flick, possibly a vital flick. Took it away from Tanaka, who tries to recycle. Cheryl Ambus back into the middle. And wait. That's going to be a card. And it's going to be a penalty to Ravens. So the wet field possibly making it a bit awkward. And, oh wait, hang on. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. I misread the intentions. I thought she was walking towards the spot for a reason. Free kick right on the edge of the box, yeah. It's a bit confused there because it wasn't what I would term penalty body language from Lara Hogan, yeah. She was walking towards the spot to book Grace Arnold. Look at this, right on the edge of the box. And I see what Manly are doing. The signal is to have a wall. And who drew the short straw and has to lie on the wet synthetic turf underneath it? I think that's Phoebe Gilbane. So the Phoebe Gilbane trying to prevent something going under. Here we go. It's a free kick and it's off target. Manly survive. One of the defenders now on a yellow card. But the most important thing for Tom Hopley's team is they haven't conceded. But that was close because that was right on the edge of the box. Cabezas. Now Minette. Did that take a touch? No. So it's a Ravens ball. And in fact, substitution coming up.
Next one, Casey.
And Isabella Edwards will not add to a 7-goal tally for 2024. She's replaced by Renee Pountney, number 7. That's going to be a straight swap. I'm sure the person on the PA will repeat that in just a moment. Are they still there? Oh, well. Anyway, I've picked up on it. There we go.
Gladesville Ravens coming onto the fields, number 7, Renee Putney. And making away from the fields, number 51, Isabella Habuda.
Yes, I mean, Dribble says Habuda. Don't blame them for that. But yes, Isabella Edwards will obviously, or forwards will always be unhappy not to score, but small crumb of comfort she can get out of the rain at least. Moreno. Lots of touches since coming on, although that's a touch that's, again, not to Lara Hogan's liking, and Moreno concedes a free kick.
How is that not a yellow?
Person in the grandstand saying, how's that not a yellow? Then looking at the ground announcer. Why would you look at the ground announcer? What are they going to do about it? Anyway. Very short throw, bounced back off Bozanic, and then Jackson. That was an awkward height and an awkward speed at which to hit that ball. There's a shout of encouragement coming, I think, from the Manly United technical area.
Go, good.
Now, Jackson finding Burton. Burton delivers, and could be an awkward one. Can Bozanic take advantage? No, she can't. It's packed away. Now, Ruby Jackson. And the rain finally starting to ease off. Forno. Stewart. Stewart to the byline, and Piccini wins that little battle. Goal kick to Ravens. By the way, some people would say I look at my phone too much, but shall we call it NPL Women's New South Wales Nuptials News? Is that a thing? Well, it is now. There's, I must say congratulations to RPL Leichhardt forward Ashley Crofts and her partner James Letter, who also plays for SD Raiders in Football New South Wales League 1 Men's, by the way. They're engaged. What a thing to find out while you're doing commentary. Well done to you, Ashley and James. That's absolutely brilliant news. Now, that's another awkward one, and it could be up for grabs here for the Ravens. Arnold gets there just in time. Tanaka, I'm not sure if that was a miss kick or if it was blocked by Bozanic. But anyway, for the home side, danger's over. Now, great tackle by Burton. And goes over the top. Ravens trying to exploit the space Burton left behind when she stepped up to win the ball. Who's that off? Well, doesn't matter who it came off last. Foul called against Claudia Chalakian, and I think Lara Hogan's just going to jog over to make sure that everyone's okay, but Grace Arnold gets up quickly. Good to see. If you just bear with me, I'll use this as a stoppage in play. I hotspot off my phone during games so I can keep up with the live stream, and then my hotspot just decided to give up. So, yeah, we're back. We're back. It's okay. Crisis averted. It's a good header from Davey. Exactly what you want from someone who's in the center of your back three. And Bozanic goes back to Burton, and didn't quite jink away past the defender that time, but she will take this throw in. By the way, double sub coming up. I think that's number 11, Tegan Biasi, and number 7, Gemma Woolley, about to come on. And looking at the bench, the two most attacking players, so possibly the two most obvious options for Tom Hopley to choose, given that he wants game changers. Score 0-0 here, with just a little bit over 20 minutes left at Cromer Park. 0-0 between Gladesville Ravens and Manly United.
Substitution for your Manly United FC. Coming onto the field is number 7, Gemma Woolley, and number 11, Tegan Biasi.
So I think, well, a little cheer from either the Tegan Biasi fan club or the Gemma Woolley fan club, or potentially both.
Making their way from the field is number 20, Sian Bozanic.
And number 14, Leah Burton.
And the other player going off is number 14, Leah Burton. And number 14, Leah Burton.
Yeah.
Right the first time.
There we go. Got there in the end. Now, just to clarify, in case mics don't pick up that PA, yes. For Manly United, double sub, number 11, Tegan Biasi, and number 7, Gemma Woolley on for number 20, Sian Bozanic, and at number 14, Leah Burton. I did say earlier, Gemma Woolley, the former Raven, scored 30 goals in their promotion season of 2022. Interesting fact about Gemma Woolley. During the day, she's a cosmetic doctor. And anyway, this is a big run. Here's Biasi, and it's a great save. Strong left hand. Strong left hand from Romina Patagira, and frustration from the Tegan Biasi fan club right near our commentary position. Almost an instant impact from Biasi, who scored last weekend against the Jets. Great save from the Ravens keeper. Romina Patagira has, I think, 4 senior caps for Chile back before she moved to Australia. You can see why with goalkeeping like that. By the way, now I've mentioned senior international caps, so this is the time to mention that Claudia Chalakian is a current Armenian international, and she's been making the long flights over to Europe during the international windows because Armenia in the UEFA Women's Nations League, and they broke a win drought that lasted years. Well done to everyone in the Armenian setup. Played forward, but only 2 white and black jerseys. Moreno. Now Puccini chases, but Cabezas gets there first. And then Biasi into the action again. And yep, Annie Halls has been pinged for a foul on Biasi. Thanks to Justin Davies. League One Women's update, the final one I was waiting for. It's the what I like to call the Costantini Cup. Blacktown City Women's Technical Director Matthew Costantini used to coach Bankstown City, but he was on the losing side in this one. Blacktown City 1, Bankstown City 3 at Landon Stadium. Forner to deliver, and it's missed it by the first 2 defenders. Jackson will keep it alive, looking backwards for the player in space. Stewart delivers flat, and attempted overhead. Yeah, that's a night to try the spectacular, and defenses have been on top. But that's off target. Now, space for Woolley, and Woolley bounces off Minette. Now, Ravens going back the other way. It's 3-on-2 if they're quick enough. Decent ball. Here's Chalakian, and she's missed. Oh, we had a big chance at one end. Now, Claudia Chalakian, chance to score against her former club. Chance to score for the second year in a row at Cromer Park. That was Ravens' clearest chance of the game by far. suddenly became a 3-on-2 after a quick break. And Chalakin has put it wide. Gilbane. Minette holding it up. Finding Stewart. Plenty of blue shirts forwards. They don't have anything to play at. It was a good block, I think, from Tanaka. It's Phoebe Gilbane joining the attack. I think she's going to take on Tanaka. She's going to hold down R2. And Tanaka stays with her. Manly showing decent patience. Now Stewart delivers. And kind of sliced off, I think, Keisha Allen's left boot. Tanaka, I think that is near the corner flag, playing for safety. It's getting tense out there. And a set piece in a decent attacking position with 15 minutes to go certainly isn't going to ease the tension. You like going around the grounds, might just try that. So the battle of the students, UNSW versus Sydney Uni, 0-0 with about 10 minutes to go. Final 10 minutes at Blacktown Football Park. Northern Tigers leading Blacktown Spartans by a goal to 0, and Bulls FC Academy defeated Emerging Jets by 3 goals to 2. Back to Cromer Park, and Patagira is up and claims it well. The rain has eased off for the time being, and Poutney stayed on side. Back to the keeper it goes. Now, of course, when I give score updates, I suppose there's the slight disclaimer to what I say, because there was one game this season where the score display didn't reflect who had actually scored which goal. So, but I think, let's go with that. Let's say those are what the scores are. Biasi, and it's 3 in front of her. Ravens taking her threat very seriously, that's for sure. But Moreno back to help the defense. Moreno again, but all she does is find Forner straight to Minette, and Minette had taken up an interesting position between central defenders. Couldn't reel the ball in, though. Minette gets the shot from Charles Ambus, but it's excellent positioning from Gilbane. Gilbane now out wide. I think that's Forner. Forner goes direct, and too direct. To the keeper it goes. Charles Ambus fouled, I think, by Stewart. See. Just looking at how Manly lined up to the reshuffle. Of course, set piece potentially a bit different, but Burton went off. Actually, see if I can figure that out later, but of course, time is running out. And that ball is to Pountney, who, under pressure from, I think that's Gilbane, plays it out. Jackson offers the short option to get back underway. There's a touch. There's a touch taking away from Gemma Woolley, but now Manly have a throw in near halfway. Ravens again closing the space. Ravens nearly kept their 4th clean sheet in their last 5 games. Still some work to do. Plenty of time for a goal to be scored. Annie Hall's tracking back though, doing her best to keep Manly out. And then that. After a bit of a delay from Lara Hogan, she blows for a Ravens free kick. Just a reminder of players coming up, or players still potentially to come on, although I think the majority of these players did play in the reserves game before this one. So for Manly, there's the backup keeper, Christy Canongisa, as well as Gemma Sweeten, Bonnie Adams and Halle Smith. While for Ravens, the backup keepers, Eliza Coleman, the other players who could come on, Ellie Howard, Lara Brewis and Jess Wooden. Now it's over Gilbane. The Ravens trying to settle it so they can have a shot. The Biasi's in the way. Cabezas using the outside of the boot to play forward. There's Minette. And Minette. Broken up by Moreno. And that's broken up by Arrowsmith, but at the expense of a free kick. Moreno delivers, and straight at Nicole Simonson. Of course, keep an eye out for the review of this round 10 of NPL New South Wales Women's. That'll be on the NPL New South Wales socials either tonight or tomorrow morning. And then Monday afternoon or evening, the NPL Women's New South Wales Team of the Week. Collated from 321 votes by Football New South Wales Media. It's always fun to see that, and to see who got the votes and who's in the team of the week for round 10. So that's a little bit of media for us NPL Women's New South Wales fans to keep an eye on. And we're back underway, and the ball goes back to Simonson. Possibly 2-on-1 here. Jackson dropping back and finds the out ball. Here's Cabezas. Biasi is on the move. Cabezas played it straight at Buccini, but strong tackle there. And we have it. Fauna. And Fauna is calm, but she's also gone towards the sideline.
Get in there, get in there.
She still has enough room, and Fauna doing her best to find some space. Not a lot of space to work with. Minette around the edge of the box. Lays it off. Biasi. And Biasi. Now it goes direct for goal and Paragura saves. Moreno, it's like she's in midfield, so not a target forward, but back to goal anyway. The defender on her, and then Cheryl Ambus pinged by Matthew Harris, assistant on the grandstand side here at Cromer Park. Ran just a little bit too early. And the parents of those now very wet Girl Sap players who played those small-sided games at halftime, I'm sure they're thinking, why couldn't it have been like this when my kid was out there? Oh well. It's part of being a football parent. Your kid's going to get wet and muddy from time to time. At least mud's not an option here with this synthetic surface. Might have a few cork pellets to brush off, as that's an interesting ball for Chalakian, and was saved with the feet. Nicole Simonson positioned well, and there's the block. It was Cabezas throwing herself at it. And there's the turn from Biasi past two players and past the third, finding Minette. It could open up here. Biasi's an option. She's continued to run. Kimberly Davies shepherding it, and the keeper gets there anyway. There's a lot of shouting. Well, we might have to see a stoppage in play to check on both Padagira and Biasi. There we go. It's a wholehearted chase from Biasi and Hoops. I think they're both of them are fine. Yeah, surely that's going to start with a no. So no, I think we'll just say officially that's an uncontested drop ball to Padagira. Dachko, Davey, but Woolley got a foot in there, and Woolley, the cosmetic doctor, trying to make the scoreboard look a bit better for Manly United, but time is running out. Arrowsmith, and keeps it away from Tanaka, but there's Chalakin back defending. Now, I think one person in the Ravens technical area, the only person in the ground that thought Renee Pountney was onside there. Look at, I mentioned Manly's fixtures coming up early in the first half, but once again, in 7 days' time, Sunday, 12th of May, big game away to MacArthur Rams at Linwood Park. Then 3 days after that, Wednesday, 15th of May, 7:30 p.m. at Landon Stadium, Sapphire Cup Round 3 against Blacktown City. There's Arrowsmith. It's good defending from Tanaka. They work it wide with Stewart. It's up, and that is not anything a Manly player can make a play at. By the way, coming up for Ravens, so Sunday, 12th of May, at the somewhat odd kickoff time of 5:10 p.m. Ravens play Blacktown Spartans at the Arctic Circle. Sunday, 19th of May, they're away at Petermore Field to play Sydney Olympic. And they finish the first half of the season on Sunday, the 26th of May, with a home game at 5 p.m. against Emerging Jets. Actually, it's an interesting one because that's what you might call an Arctic Circle doubleheader, because it's Ravens versus Jets 5 p.m. Sunday 26th of May, and then at 7 p.m. immediately after that on the same field, it's Northwest Sydney Spirit versus Football New South Wales Institute. So, a quirk of the fixture list, you get these things when teams share a venue. By the way, we don't know when this is happening yet, but Gladesville Ravens have been drawn at home against Marconi Stallions from League One Women's in the Cup. Marconi Stallions losing, who lost 3-1 to Mount Druitt Town Rangers earlier today. But keep an eye out. Details haven't been published. Keep an eye out probably Ravens official channels will be, social channels will be the best bet for when that Ravens versus Marconi Cup tie will be played. That'll be another, what you might call an animal derby, Ravens versus Stallions. Okay, by the way, yes, the substitute. Forgot about that. And coming off the field was number 33, Patricia Charalambis. So yeah, Brewis on for Charalambis. I think, yeah, straight swap, so Lara Brewis just for the final few minutes.
Number 33, Paddy Charalambos.
Yes, Brewis on the left side of midfield where Charalambos played for about 87 minutes. And now on that side of the field, it's the far side, it's Manly. And Keisha Allen is in the way. Now, a half shout for a free kick. Lara Hogan, not interested. Is there anything down the far side? No. Raymond strong again. Arrowsmith closed down, but finds Jackson. Cabezas. Now Biasi. Biasi loves running at defenders. Well, this is what she was brought on for. And into the box she goes. Decent cross off the head of a Raven. And the net can't control it. Fauna now. Cabezas. Hands up from Woolley. So that's who Cabezas tried to find, is Woolley. Couldn't get a shot away against her old club. 89th minute here. Of course, no fourth official in NPL Women's New South Wales, so to guess how much time added on is being played. Of course, if you're one of the younger members of our footballing community, there didn't used to be fourth official, so that's just what we had to do in every game. We just had to guess. I think they were the board, having the board and signalling the time added on from memory, brought in for the 1998 Men's World Cup. So honestly, you kids don't know how good you have it. Now, it's going to work possibly for, is that Brewis? Whoever it is. I think it is Brewis. And it's a late corner for Gladesville Ravens. So everyone, as you would expect, back for Manly United. I think that's Tanaka with their left-footed delivery. And further to my point about two-footed set-piece taking from the Japanese midfielder, but she couldn't find any of her teammates. And that's a long-range shot from Bacchini. It took a touch and then offside. I think from memory, the laws of the game state, well, it did come off an opponent, but it wasn't played at by an opponent, if that makes sense. And Simonson doesn't waste any time. Boy, speaking of time, not much left. We're into time added on at Lara Hogan's discretion. And, well, Simonson got a scramble. But Ravens, you may not have noticed how far off her line she was. Minette, they double up on her, and Minette. And we might go on here. It's Biasi. Lots of shouting in the stands. Not sure who or what for. Fauna's long-range shot is blocked. Gilbane, one more time, but heavy touch allows Tanaka to get a foot in. Still alive with Stewart up against Brewis. Goal kick.
Yeah, look for it.
Now, Biasi, who she was, got the touch off Buccini, but there's almost 2 minutes time added on. So if anyone's going to be a hero, it needs to happen quickly. Here's Fauna. Woolley. Marshall back to the keeper by Davey. It's up, and Moreno got it off her head, but couldn't find a teammate. And now, oh, that was a vital header by Davey because Woolley was about to run in on goal. Now Woolley. Gemma Woolley to Minette. Now Fauna, and Fauna from range, and it's easy for Paragira. Defending by Dashko and reads the bounce well, using her body against Minette. Chalakin, that's really not what the Ravens want her, but it doesn't matter, because that's full time, and it's ended goalless between Manly United and Gladesville Ravens. So Manly United will stay top of NPL Women's New South Wales and extend their undefeated run to 8 games, but it is a good result for Gladesville Ravens going away to the league leaders and earning a point. Tegan Biasi had possibly Manly United's best chance just after she came on in the second half, and she was denied by an excellent save from the Ravens shot stopper Romina Paragira, while at the other end Claudia Chalakian had a great chance to score against her old club but put it wide. And that was the clearest chances for both of these sides. We'll just quickly run through next weekend's NPL Women's New South Wales fixtures, which you can watch on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. Saturday, 11th of May, 6:30 p.m. It's Northern Tigers versus Illawarra Stingrays, called by Duckman, also known as Matthew Austin. Then there's 6 NPL Women's New South Wales fixtures on Sunday, 12th of May, 5 of them at 5 p.m. Manly United, as I said earlier, travel away to MacArthur Rams. And that's the match of the round, called by the Serbian Martin Tyler Nikola Pozder. And there's also RPL Leichhardt versus University of New South Wales, called by Melissa Muscat. And the other 3 5 p.m. fixtures in 7 days' time. Sunday, 12th of May, Sydney Olympic versus Football New South Wales Institute, Sydney University versus Bulls FC Academy, and Emerging Jets versus Northwest Sydney Spirit. Then at 5:10 p.m. on Sunday, the 12th of May, Gladesville Ravens versus Blacktown Spartans, followed by Dave McDonald. And the next weekend's League One women's match of the round, Sunday, 12th of May at 3 p.m. up at Plume Park, Central Coast Mariners versus SD Raiders, and that's called by the voice of Central Coast football, Peter Pryor. But this is Eric Subiano signing off for the Football New South Wales YouTube page. Thanks for joining us. You can tune in and watch the latter stages of the men's game between Sydney FC Academy and RPL Leichhardt on our YouTube page if you wish. But for now, hope you stay dry. Wishing you plenty of good vibes, great coffee, sick tattoos, razzlers. And to our Orthodox Christian friends, may you have a great Easter weekend. See you next time.